So now you have 5 delegates.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. I just want to mention good morning and welcome to the Harford County delegation meeting for this week. And we are actually live on the Maryland General Assembly website. So we will go ahead and get started. We do have a quorum. So I'm going to open us in a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this yet another day to serve you. We ask that you continue to watch over us as we work together to do the people's work. And Lord, a special prayer for you to have your angels hovering over the people of the Ukraine and their allies as they fight to save their country. And Lord, continue to watch over us as we move onto the floor. And thank you for our Harford County delegation members for another session to where we worked together and made compromises when we had to and moved forward with the bills that we felt would be good for our Harford County citizens and the citizens of Maryland. Thank you and continue to watch over us as the day moves forward. Amen. And we have Delegate Shalega is going to open us up with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I got the flag for us.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Righty. Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and I do have a few open remarks, and I do believe Delegate McComas, this is for you. The delegation secretary has a citation in our office for you to pick up. So please do that before you leave today or tomorrow, before you head back to Harford. I want to welcome Larry Richardson, who has come here on behalf of the administration, County Executive Barry Glassman, to discuss this year's 2022 Harford County Priority Letter, which is basically our package for Harford County transportation priorities. So thank you, Larry. We're going to go ahead and have you go ahead and make your presentation, and then we'll have questions and answers, hopefully, at the end.
Okay, so can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay. Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you all very much for the opportunity today. I'm going to slip back into my old and obvious days. Lawrence A. Richardson Jr. on behalf of the County Executive, Harford County Government, here before you today to request your endorsement and your support relative to the transportation priority letter that we will be submitting to Secretary of Transportation Jim Ports. I got it down to you as quick as we could. We were able to finalize it. I picked it up literally 4 o'clock Wednesday, so I got it down to you yesterday as quick as we could. What you'll see is pretty much it is a recitation of what our priorities have been. It's a repetition of what we have filed, especially last year. So they will follow the same order. And as is broken down in the packet, we have it broken down by various categories relative to safety operations, traffic flow, transit, bicycle, pedestrian, shared use paths. I can do this. They taught me once. So one of the things that we have done in this letter, we have gone back through the previous letters that we have submitted to the state, and a number of these are definitely repetitions. So we have specifically spelled that out in this package to the secretary. For example, some of these items you'll notice were, let's see if I can give one in particular. So referring to on page, it will be page 2 of the actual letter, where we have a bullet for the US 1 bypass at the Maryland 24 exchange. We specifically note there, this is originally included in our priority letter of 2007. So for each of these entities, we have detailed out for the secretary how long we have been asking for these with no successful response from the state. So we are highlighting that as well, that these are not one-offs. These are items that we have requested, we have identified for a long time. that are important to us, that are important to our citizens, not only for our safety, but for the economy of Harford County, the development of Harford County. So we are requesting your endorsement of this letter. If you all are good with it, I will immediately be down to get a signed copy. We will have the council president will sign, county executive will sign, and we will get this to Secretary Ports. One of the things I will be doing as well for the delegation, I don't know if my camera viable or?
It's not showing you.
Okay. Let me see if I can get it on here. Here we go. Let's try this, see if it's going to work this time.
There you are.
Just briefly, so the package that we put together last year, one of the things I had included is going to be a list such as this. Pretty much broke it down. We did a comparison request. So where these items rested in the fiscal year 2021 ranking, where they rested for 21-22, what their category was, estimated production cost. I will be putting one of these together for you all as well with this package, but what I am also going to include is an additional column that will detail out how long these items have been in our previous priority letters that we have submitted to the Secretary of Transportation.
Okay, great. Thank you. So that will be forthcoming, like within the week or today, or just to give them an idea?
Well, so I will, if with your blessing, Madam Chair, and with the delegation's blessing, I can come down. If you all are good with this package, I can come down today, pick it up, and we can get that process to get it into the Secretary. This letter, I will work on that chart. I'll work on that over the weekend. Okay.
All righty. We will open, I guess, so we'll open it up for questions, and as the delegation might have some, need some more detailed information about each one of these bullets. So I see Delegate McComas' hand is up. Delegate McComas. Please unmute.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Larry, I just want to say, I think it's great that you tell the history because I think that's really important, that it shows that these issues have been percolating for a long time, more than a decade. Like the first one, I think, 2007.
Yes.
So I was very impressed with that. The other thing I just wanted to ask is when we get the final packet, will we have better maps as far as where it shows things work? Because I know what was sent out, it was kind of like black and white, and it was not as nice as we've seen prior productions. But I realize I think you guys, your decision was to get it finalized and then have the final copy. So
yeah,
anyway.
we will do. That was pretty much a battlefield production. To get it to you all in time. So if you can see, there's an
oh, great, wonderful.
What you will be getting
beautiful
live and in color. Now, please, I do want to stress, not put together by me, because this requires talent in this field, and I do not have that.
Well, no, don't underestimate yourself. Now, the other question I had, and I know that this is really Harford County's priorities, but were the towns and municipalities consulted at all, or just got some of them, put some input into this?
I do believe no. In fact, because one of the items in particular, I can tell you. Let me scroll to the back. This portion of the packet is we do actually talk about one of the items that's included is the is circulation improvements for the area for the town of Bel Air.
Oh, well, I saw that and I love that. But I just was wondering if Aberdeen and Havre de Grace had been consulted at all.
I know there have been previous discussions as to this specific document for this specific put together. I don't know if there were, I can't say that there were recent meetings on this.
Well, just
really, the county executive.
I'm happy with it as a resident of the town of Bel Air. So I thought it's good. It's a good job because I've seen a few of these before.
Okay, thank you, Delegate McComas. And I do want to follow up with Delegate Comas's comment. Actually, Larry did give me a colored copy, but we had to get it turned around quickly last night so that you could get a copy when we scanned it in. So what we're doing today is we're going to send it over to the print shop and get them all to copy them for you, and we'll get them to your offices. and it will be in color. Okay. And now we have Delegate Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Larry, for coming and bringing this to us today. While I support any projects we can get done in Harford County, I was on a committee yesterday where Vice Chair Crosby presented a transportation project. And the first question they asked him, where is this on the state's priority list? So I'm going to ask you, are any of these projects on the state's priority list, or did you look at the state's priority list to see if possibly we could align some of our projects with what's on their priority list to get these things done?
Delegate, what I can tell you is that either the state is Secretary of Transportation in the department is very well aware of what we have listed as our priorities. So we're going to be coordinating with them. I'm going to be in touch with their office probably the first part of next week to drive home these points that these are critical issues for Harford County.
Do you know if any of these are on their priority list?
I haven't had a chance to review that list yet, but I will check and I can let you know once I see that.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate Johnson. A follow-up on that before I go to Delegate Lasanti. So normally, I mean, this is the purpose of why the counties do their priority list. And then we send that to the state, and then the state looks at the county's priority list, supposedly, looks at the county's priority list to determine what they're going to put on theirs. So if it's currently on their list now, it's something they probably did from last year. Is that correct? Just to be sure how, with Delegate Johnson's question, I think he's asking, so the things that are, you know, because sometimes we go to the CPT meeting and then we see something and then we say, oh, well, that project's already in the works because it was on their list.
Mhm.
So did they make their list from our list from last year? So we're sending this down for future.
Yes, so this is going to be for future projects. And I know, because I think last year, one of the things when we did the CPT meeting in the council chambers, they had included what had been listed. And I think some of those have now been done.
Okay.
There was the paving on the bypass, which I think has been done. There was they're doing the road bank, the bank improvements along Rocks Road.
Okay. All right. So that was suggestions from the county from last year's priority list and so on and so forth. So they're working
those,
on
I believe, have come from previous listings and the states. That was a state.
their own list. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great. All righty. Thank you. Thank you, Delegate Johnson, for that question. Great question. Delegate Lasanti.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And before I ask my questions, I want to go back in to your question, Delegate Riley. Basically, in the old days, if you will, the county put in the priority list to State Highway Administration, and that was the priority for the county. Several years ago, well, 4 years ago now, when the law changed, basically the county's priority list is equivalent, it is on equal footing, if you will, with the municipalities' lists. All of these priority lists go to the State Highway Administration. They look at them for safety, how many the safety data, how many people are impacted by the improvement, what the cost is, what the investment of the local government is, and then they establish the state priority list. So having said that, let me back up a little bit. Larry, thank you for bringing this to us. I know that you're trying to balance a lot of priorities, but this is a very, very important piece, and I don't want to see it rushed because there's some pieces in here that I think are very necessary. First and foremost, I think as a county and as a delegation, we need to look at the priorities from all over the county, and including the 3 municipalities, and they ought to be all in our package because they will be graded by what their safety value is to the people of Maryland. So we need to include them all. Number 2, I think there's some issues that are missing in the report. Number 1, the budget. Have any of these projects been funded by either county money, federal money, local grants, so that we have an idea, so that we can show to the state that we are investing? I'll give you an example. the Mark train station. Larry, I believe the county put in $50,000 for that project. I believe the city of Aberdeen put in $50,000, and I believe the state put in another $100,000, I believe, for to move to the next level. That I think is important to be noted in the report because it shows local investment. Another issue that I think needs to be in the transportation, in our cover letter, it's not a priority project, but those of us, well, all of us are and impacted, all of our citizens, by the Easy Pass issue. All of us are getting tons and tons of citizen complaints about that issue. And I think that we need to at least acknowledge that in our cover letter, that the failure of that system, and it's really not truly transportation system, it's the General Assembly had failed to continue the right authority to transportation to be able to deal with these projects. So I think we need to identify that as something that's a priority to fix. The third piece is, and I think there's a missing component that's kind of new on the table, and that is the Perriman Peninsula and access to state highway from county roads. This project is creating a tremendous amount of concern in the community. We all know that it's been on the table for years, but it has not made our priority list. And I think we need to move forward in placing that on our list as well. So that's my 12-hour review. And I apologize to everybody. I don't have anything in writing to provide to you, but as you know, we just got this very late yesterday. So try to do our best to give some constructive comments.
Okay. Hey, Delegate, what I can do, I will definitely take that back. I would note though, my understanding of what this request letter is that this is to be intended to be Harford County specific. So I'm not quite sure the statewide issue of the Easy Pass would fall under something such as this. As to Perriman, again, this is just a development process that's in its very, very early stages. I would say I would be a bit hesitant to include recommendations in this when this process is just starting, just being reviewed, and we don't know what the reviews are going to hold. We don't know if permits are going to be granted.
Clearly, Larry, the traffic impact study is something that has been on the table for many years. There's been investment back for the last decade of county money into reviewing the traffic actually access from the Perriman Peninsula to Route 40 and to 715. I went back and looked in the budget, and I can share that with you offline. There's projects that are open that have not been completed. So while we're doing the historical review of projects that have not been funded, I think we need to. I have to say that we need to go back and look at that, and I'll share that with you offline if you like.
Yeah, and as I said, I know the traffic study, a traffic study specific to this proposal is part of this review process. But yeah, I'd be more than happy if you'd be kind enough to share that with me. That'd be great.
I will. Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Delegate Asante. Excellent points, and Larry as well. So Larry, one other question before I move on. So on this, I know that Senator Castley, signs the actual letter on behalf of the senators, and I sign as the delegation chair on the House side. Do the mayors from the municipalities, do they sign off on this? I thought they did, but I'm not for sure. I can't quite remember. And I don't have a copy of the signature page. But I thought we were told before, when we asked that question, if the municipalities were involved, that they actually signed off on this as well.
Yeah, with this, I can tell you, looking at the CCs, there are representatives from the city of Aberdeen, Grace, and the town of Bel Air.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so they do see this, and if they have any, same as us, if they have any, comments or questions or concerns, they have a chance to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Do I have any other questions for Mr. Richardson? Okay, I see none. So, Mr. Richardson, thank you so much for coming to join us here at the delegation meeting to talk about the transportation priority list, and thank the administration as well. And we will look forward to getting your letter and signing that so that you can move forward.
Okay, my pleasure. And as you all know, as I somewhat jokingly say, my cell phone is surgically attached and always on. So should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call.
Okay, we do appreciate that. And thank you for being, with prompt response every time that we contact you. So thank you. We
My
appreciate it.
pleasure. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so we're going to move on. And as you see on the agenda, the only thing else that we have currently, we do have to approve 2 sets of minutes. So first, I need a motion and second on the minutes from 2/27/22, which we did not have time to do last week.
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
Okay, so I think it was Delegate Johnson was first, Delegate Arcan second? Yes, okay. And if anyone has any objections, please raise your hand. Okay, I'm sorry, Cindy, you have a question?
No.
Okay, all right, I see no hands
She's
raised. so
counting.
Those
She's
minutes
counting.
are approved unanimously. Thank you. Okay, and now the minutes from 3/3/22. Same, I need a first and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all right, so we have Delegate Arcan was first, Delegate Johnson second. Any discussion? See none. Anybody opposed? Please raise your hand. See no hands. Okay, so that has the minutes from 3/3 have been approved unanimously. So thank you very much. Before we adjourn, anybody have any last comments? I do believe before you have your comments, I do believe this hopefully will be our last delegation meeting for this session. As Harford County delegation, we don't meet just to meet. We meet to discuss, important bills for our county. So it looks like we are done those for the most part that we're aware of. There may be something coming across once crossover, that the Senate has bills in there that deal just with the county. We may have to call another meeting, but we will let you know via email. But as of now, we will not be having a meeting unless pressive things come up as far as legislation for the county. So I see Delegate Johnson, Delegate McComas, and Delegate Griffith, and Delegate Lasanti. So we'll start with Delegate Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to thank you for bringing up the issue about including the municipalities, because without that, that's just a plan for a piece of our county. And I think it's very important that in our municipalities, we have large number of people, as well as Aberdeen sits on 3 gates of the APG, which gets most of the county traffic. So I think it's important that we definitely include the municipalities in our traffic plan when we send that to the state. So thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Thank you. And Delegate McComas? Unmute, please.
The thing moved. Okay. Real quick, where are we with the school board bills, the House and the Senate? And just a brief on the alcohol bills.
Do you want me to talk about the school board bills?
Yes, it's was generated from you. So thank you, Delegate McComas. We'll have Delegate Griffith respond, and then we'll have Delegate Johnson and Lasanti possibly on the local bills. So Delegate Griffith.
First, before I get into that, I just want to give my comment I was going to make. I just want to thank the committee this year for all your hard work. I know we had some contentious issues, but we worked hard, and I'm grateful for the work. And obviously, thank you, Madam Chair, for your hard work. This has been a tough session, and thank you for your leadership this year. So to move on to the school board bill. So the Senate version's got out of rules, and the committee it's steaming forward. It looks like that bill's going to go. Same with ours. Looks like we're going to be voting on ours on Friday, is what I'm being told. It looks like ours is going to go forward as well. So.
Okay, just to follow up that.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen, but it's on the right. Both are on the right track.
Okay, Delegate Griffith, just to follow up on that. So once ours was amended in the delegation, so the one that's going forward, hopefully in Ways and Means, is identical to the Senate version that's coming out. Oh,
Correct.
Okay, just to clarify that. Okay,
Yep.
Thank you very much. Does that answer your question, Delegate McComas?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Put your hand down, please.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Delegate Griffith.
Thanks, Matt.
And, and now we have Delegate Asante. Maybe she can give us some information on some of the liquor bills.
Okay, certainly. Sorry, I was trying to put my hand down. There we go. Sorry, not that it mattered. Well, the delegation bill, my liquor bill is moving forward. It's in ECM, and I believe it was voted on on Monday. So I think we'll be seeing that come to the floor. I do have some information that I want to share with the delegation too about some of the concerns that were addressed from that were brought forward by the liquor board about expenditures and their budget. So I'd like to be able to have an opportunity to do that in the near future. The other issue, going back to the transportation plan, I assume that we will do an informal vote, maybe on the floor or something like that on the plan once Larry gets all these other missing pieces to us. But I think that's really important. I do want to share the Perriman piece with the delegation. After I get the copies from him that he's providing, I want to give that information to the delegation for your consideration, because there are some that is a big project. It's a big, important project for our county that's been going on a long time, and it really does need to be part of this package. So that's my take. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Delegate Lasante. Delegate Johnson, do you have any information on the 3 liquor bills that you had for the delegation in ECM?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Ripken Stadium fee reduction bill was voted favorably on in subcommittee, and the other 2, the container bill and the resort bill, I haven't gotten any word on those yet.
Okay, great, thank you. And we have Delegate Shalega. Next, please.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I would like us to entertain, if we meet again, or I guess I should say when we meet again, because there are some issues that we'll have to talk about, if we could possibly do that in person. It would be nice if we could do that, and then obviously broadcast it as well, but I'd ask you to consider us doing that going forward. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And we will definitely consider that. And then we have Delegate Arkan.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks for all of your hard work and your staff's hard work this year. I'm sure it's so difficult to run this delegation, and I thank you a lot for the extra time that you have to put in. I just want to touch back on the liquor bill, on Delegate Sante's liquor bill. I just want to make sure we move the one that removed that requirement for the upfront money when you're starting a restaurant.
Mhm.
That bill's steaming along. That's the one that's moving, right?
That is correct. That is the bill that was voted on in this delegation to become a delegation bill. Yes, Delegate Arkan, that is correct.
Awesome. Great bill, and it's going to be big for our county. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Arkan and Delegate Lasante. Do we feel it necessary? Because we can take this time after Delegate Shalega had made a comment about meeting in person the next time around. Does everyone feel like we need to take a vote on that? And how does everybody feel, or any kind of discussion?
Move favorable.
She's making a motion. Okay.
If you bring coffee, I'll be there. Or have access to coffee.
Although we don't really have a room, so we have to find. We would have to find it. Maybe we could just go off the floor and meet in one of those large rooms.
That's right. They're using our delegation room, right?
Yes. So Delegate Shalega.
I mean, we could ask for the Republican conference room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not that many of us.
Right.
And,
Yes.
and Steve and Marianne are very welcome. Not just into the conference room, but other things if they want. But
Okay.
that's always
that might have to be a good idea, because most of the rooms are taken up by other folks as they're doing construction around the area. So we'll work on that. So if possible, is that what everybody feels like they want to do? If not, raise your hand. Okay, all right, so it looks like it's unanimous. So we will let you know if we can find the location, we'll do that. If not, we might have to go back to Zoom. And again, I'll probably have to get an opinion from our council after she researches it, since we are in this 90-day session and they said that we're doing it this way. I just have to make sure that we're following the rules if we would do that. Okay, so I see any other discussion before we adjourn. If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, second. Okay. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day. See you on the floor.